we have this clause in there, or we want to execute this clause, and then we cannot spend money we think might be affected by that.
Absolutely.
So
I mean, that's something we have to keep in the back of our heads for sure.
yeah, okay. Yeah.
But we want to keep it broad. I mean, in the end, if we only raise $1 million and 30% of it comes from one person, we're probably going to use our discretion to say we need to spend all the money. And okay, so what? We're not going to have the best whitelist. Okay, fine.
So that's, he would not have the same amount on the whitelist then that he invested.
We would not have the best whitelist, but we need the money to actually launch this thing. So we're going to do it, right? That would be at our discretion.
So we would adjust the whitelist and not pay back money.
No, we would pay back money. We will not adjust the whitelist without giving people back their funds.
Okay. Because I thought we would keep, because we need the 1 million, so we would spend all of the 1 million, but then give them a less multiplier or whatever.
Then we would keep the whitelist how it is.
Okay.
I mean, that's yeah.
Sorry, I felt confused by that too, because I thought I heard you saying if we get only one person and they give 30K, then we would use the money. And I thought that, yeah, I think Coach B and I had the same question of like, aren't we giving back the money if it's not $1 million? But I don't understand.
Yes, we're giving okay. So none of these financials are solid yet. We're going to run them through our advisors and right? But currently, the idea is that we don't raise $1 million, then we give back all the money. If we raise $1 million and one guy gave us 300K, and we don't raise that much more, then we'll keep the whitelist, and he'll be a whale on the whitelist. Is my expectation, right? Because we would need to spend that money to actually deploy it.
Okay.
If we raise $2 million. And somebody has 30% of the whitelist because they gave us 600K. We might give them back, 100K or 200K, and lower their place on the whitelist and not spend their funds.
Okay, that's why you want to have this clause to be very broad, so to speak.
It depends on a lot of factors and where we're at. But what I don't want to say is, first off, I don't want to add an extra complication into an already complicated pitch. And number two, I want to retain flexibility because maybe when we do simulations, we realize it doesn't matter if there's a whale because every person is voting independently and it's just not that actually an issue. So.
Okay, got it.
So those are the big updates on financials. I'll pass it to, I guess we don't have anyone on website. Does anyone have an update on the website? Maybe Bernd?
No, I don't actually.
I saw that it's been improving and people are even complaining about not being on it. So that's cool. At least people are starting to see it. And yeah, but I haven't seen a whole lot of progress. So I guess the action step is pinging Max. Advisors. Okay, so good news on advisors. Trent is in. We can use his picture on the website. We can say that he's an advisor. He gave it. Sherman and Trent gave us lots of really good feedback. Trent is going to be a fabulous advisor. Trent, Eden, and Simon, man, every time I talk to them, they can't help but advise. So it's very nice, and we got a lot of positive feedback. Sherman, however, she's not ready to sign on to be an advisor. She wants to have like a big advisor meeting where all the advisors are there, or at least as many as we can. And when we have the final details of financials, we explain it to everyone and invite them. At least that's how I see us pulling it off for her. I'm also not like, I really want Sherman to be an advisor, but it's not a roadblock if that delays us. So, but I fully expect to be working with the Vienna team. So, and no matter what, so it just makes sense that she will be an advisor. Also, I need to get an email with Chris and Abby. I probably put you in this as well about like getting locking him down before he gets sucked into other projects, and at least getting a quote about like what kind of research grant we need to give to Vienna so that we can have him write our white paper if we want that. So yeah, and I think there was other stuff from what?
Getting a quote
Anyway.
from who?
Well, I need to set up a call with Sherman and Chris. Chris is a token engineering researcher who has been working with Abby a little bit about writing a white paper for token engineering commons and token binding for common stack stuff. And he was at our team and he's really excited about this. But the fact is, there's other projects that are going to require. He's a very competent person, so there's a lot of strings pulling him, and so we need to have to lock him down if we want that to happen. Okay, I'm going to move on to Trent.
Can I propose?
Oh, go ahead.
Can I propose that whenever speaking of Chris's, you identify which Chris you're talking about right away?
Let's call him Christoph.
Christoph. Okay, Christoph. So that's Christoph. Okay, so now for Trent. Trent is amazing. He offered up all of his connections. He wants to connect us to Placeholder, Multicoin Capital, A16Z, Binance grants, and probably various others. So we're going to take him up on that. He had a lot of good advice about like getting rid of that 1 million round number and calling it 873,000 or something like that. Also like how to put this message out there and where to raise funds from. He also had a really strong push for us shipping often and early and iterating and taking one piece at a time, and gave us some other projects to look at in that, and making analogies to Wright brothers and all this stuff. It was very good, really great meeting. Honestly, I wish I would have recorded it. I would go back to it. We should definitely record all of our advisor meetings from here on out because they're very useful. We need to consider doing a strong like simplification and just not even, this is something Jeff and I kind of talked about afterwards, just like getting rid of conviction voting from even most of the pitch and just focusing on token bonding curves for like high level pitches, and then bringing it to that other level if we want to, or like, but really, and only for the people that ask. So we do need to create the content, but it should be core in the messaging. It's kind of where I'm at with that. And the big piece for Coach B is that we definitely need to start some paperwork with people, not just employees, but also the advisors. And Trent gave us some advice on that, which we can talk offline about.
Oh, great. Yeah, sure.
Okay, and so yeah, so that's the updates on the advisors. In general, we have Jordy, Simon, Eden, Trent, all signed in. We have Sherman in the works. Luis said no, but I haven't heard back from Jorge. It's probably good not to get the Aragon guys in there because there's a little bit of a conflict of interest if we want them to also potentially bid on a project. Yeah. Oh, and another thing with advisors is that I think we're almost solid on what we want to give them. I need to talk to B about Coach B, whether it should be 5,000 or 10,000, because that's what a membership fee is. So it's basically saying give them a free membership, and then 3x multiplier before some date, and then also access to all of our Google Drives and just complete access to everything we're doing internal channels, and that being a value add because they get to see all the work that we're doing before anyone else and can put input. So that's like another value add for advisors can capture that. Okay, so sorry about that long update on advisors. POC implementation, Abby, I think you went to the last meeting on that. Do you have any updates on the POC implementation?
Of what, the bonding curve stuff? Of just in general?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't
That's
able
fine.
to go to the last meeting. There's updates in the in one of the Telegram groups. But I think everything's going well. But I think that Spunnet would be better to give an update on that because I was only able to. I asked for any action items, and they're like, "No, we're just hacking away." They've re-engaged Pavle and Rinke on the smart contracts, which is nice. And it seems like the last thing that they were doing was just kind of building out the deploying the bonding curve and the Genesis front end and stuff like that. But that was from the 23rd, which was earlier this week. So, and then I know Will and them chatted for 10 minutes yesterday. So I can follow up and then push notes to here.
It's fine. I thought maybe you went to that call yesterday or something, but the other
No, I
update.
couldn't. I had other meetings.
The other update I had was that I'm going to throw down like somewhere between $2,000 and $5,000 to put bounties on GitHub issues, and that's how they're going to organize. Is that they're just going to do GitHub issues. I already put one bounty of like 169 DAI for making the list in GitHub, and then that's how we'll kind of like do a little source cred attribution thing for
Nice.
building the POC. I'm really excited about the POC. The more we can get it done, the better. I think we'll prioritize token bonding curve implementation, but yeah, I'm very excited about seeing if we can pull this off. Okay, so now we can get to agenda. So let's brainstorm agenda items. So I want to talk more details on the financials. I already went through the advisor notes. We have logo. Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, I was just like amazed that that was an update still because it looked like you were going fully through the advisor notes section in the agenda.
I was, but now it's over.
Okay, so we're taking advisor notes off of the agenda?
Yep.
Because we did it? Okay, cool.
Logo, I assume, is on the agenda.
Yes, it is.
Does anyone else have any other agenda items? Okay, so then financials. Like I said, we need a quote from Argon Black, and this is when we get to action steps, I might try to delegate that because I'm so fucking slammed with this stuff. But it's a very high priority, so we need to push it. I'm getting feedback from Level K, iterative feedback. I'm working on the roadmap, but I would love to delegate some tasks here, and I'm curious if anyone wants to take any of them up.
Besides the quote from Argon Black, what are the other tasks?
The other tasks are finalizing the numbers. So like, what should be the initial like price that people buy into, and what should be the payout that they get at the end of the curve. And it's basically working with Z on confirming those numbers and that he likes them. And then and then also the token vesting month time. Like my guess is that it should be 1 cent, 3 cents, or something along those lines for payout, and then like 18 months. But those numbers need to be like solidified, and that takes like probably an hour conversation with Z, and then yeah, and then just like building some content around those decisions. Okay, I will. So that's basically what I'm looking for. And if no one wants it, I will keep going, but it's just going to slow us down a little bit.
You can get me involved, but I'm not sure if I can take it over straight away. So, and I'm not sure if that helps if I'm involved and for 1 hour and it's solved. So,
Actually, Coach B, that you reminded me that just now that the other big thing on financials that we need is one-on-one conversations where we talk to everybody about their salary. And you already kind of mentioned that you'd be interested in that.
sure.
So like just kind of getting feedback on what we already projected, and then confirming that it'll work. So
Yeah.
maybe you and I can have like a quick, half an hour to an hour discussion to primer that, and then you can execute.
Sure.
I've also been having that conversation with people. So I have like, from a few weeks ago, I have a lot of people's perspectives already on like salaries. So I'm happy to feed in there, not to like lead the whole financials execution, but
Yeah, the big piece is that Coach B will need to actually draw paperwork for people to sign, and for advisors and for basically anyone who has to deal with this. We already have one deal solidified with Parker, so at least assuming Coach B. I think Coach B already gave me the thumbs up. So
You said what?
you already gave me the thumbs up on that deal. I'm pretty sure, right? Where Parker gets 1% of all grants.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess that's an update too. We have Parker on board to write grants for us. So anybody who hears of a grant, dear God, like put us in on it. And if you have like any ideas on if anyone wants to review these grants or support those grants, then we're in. Okay. So, well, that's financials. Let's move to logo. Do you want to read this, Lorelai?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we had 5 logo drafts presented to us on Tuesday by Max Goodenough, who's leading team of designers. And in that meeting, we took the temperature of what people were feeling, what their favorites were. Then, but afterwards, I went and kind of solidified people's opinions on their favorites and how to refine them. And I'm just gonna screen share to you guys because I aggregated this. So yeah, I pulled together everybody's first choices and then those people who expressed like a clear second choice. I gave that a 0.5 for second choices and a 1 for first choices. So we got Max Simonchuk, Abby, Griff, Bonnet, Z, well, we got all of us. So here, just over here, this is Max Kudinoff, and that's like his personal favorite as the team leader. And then they also did some user testing, or they got user feedback of some sort when they were designing the 5. And so this is the favorite from the users that they got feedback from. And yeah, the flame water droplet egg one was the favorite, which I'm sure you guys remember, but I'll show it up here on this screen. Okay, no, it's yeah. So this one, I was hoping to like during this meeting just get a little like consent round to move forward on refining that one further, because it seems to be a pretty clear leader, and then beyond that to get people just quick opinions on like what do you think it needs to be refined? Does it need black outlines? Does it need like bigger dots. Does it need to be more businessy, more friendly? And I wish that I had more people here to pull opinions from, but I guess it's the three of us now. We even lost Abby. So let's do it. Do we have consent to move forward with developing the flame water droplet succulent looking logo in your direction?
Seed.
No?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it,
Okay, so no, okay, cool. And then do you guys, like, if I could get a comment from each of you, if you have anything in your mind of how to make that one better for us?
If I can throw in a few comments, and we chatted briefly about this, but I think it's good for us to determine like what we are hoping to see out of the logo, and I think the logo is a good kind of like consolidation of what we are trying to do with this brand. If we could have one image to convey what we are trying to do with this, it's the logo. I really like the seed because essentially we are building infrastructure that can grow. Zargham has made several analogies of commons as trees. So, I mean, you kind of have this, roots are like information coming into the commons. The trunk is the infrastructure components of the commons, and the trees are kind of like the labor, the fruit that is born of that commons. We are creating the seed that allows multiple trees to be planted. And I think that's a strong kind of analogy, an easy analogy of what we are trying to do with common site infrastructure. I do think it's good to convey a logo that is easily, I mean, one of my issues with this logo as it is right now is that people think it's an egg, people think it's a seed, people think it's a plant, people think it's fire, people think it's, I mean, that's, in some way there's, you know, interpretation of the logo, but I think that can lead to some confusion down the line. So I think this is the strongest logo to go forward with. I would like to clear up kind of, and I mean, I'm not a designer, so in what way I find that a little bit difficult. But I think if we kind of have that direction to pass on to Max, you know, that this is a seed, seeds grow into commons trees. That's essentially what we're trying to do. Yeah, that would be my thought moving forward with that one.
yeah, I mean, I would second that. We need a clear description so that we're all aligned. When people ask us about the logo, we all have the same answer,
Right.
and that we are and that we can draw all the cool things, you know, like with the Giveth logo, we had a clear like, oh yeah, this dot represents this, and you know, it's kind of like a sunset, and we can use this logo to do this and that. And I'm pretty sure Max will work on that and give us a clear description, but probably we want to start giving feedback. Like, I like the curves in there, and you know, I'd like to see some kind of integration in like token bonding curves. There should be some kind of biomimetic add-in that we can throw in there, because that's a talking point for us. And we just need to make sure that we can integrate a few talking points into the actual logo, and that it's well described so that everyone's aligned.
Yeah. No, I also agree. I think it's more, we should try some coloring, some different colors. And as you said, I mean, the blue gives it more like a water drop. A green is more like a plant. And maybe we just have to decide what is actually what we want to show. And if you say seed, maybe it's even more brownish or something. I don't know. So maybe we just try some other colors. If it's red, it's a flame, you know. So I think the coloring has a lot of influence on the perception of the logo.
Yeah, and if we go with any of this imagery, like if we say it's a seed, then we shouldn't be using hatchers. We should be using whatever it is, sprouters or whatever, something like that. So
Farmers.
yeah, bombers. Yeah. So we'll see.
Okay, great. I will bring that to actually not to Max, but to Anna, who I think is the one who designed this. She's the one I'm having a call with today. And I'll report back to you guys on like what's happening with the iterations of it next week on Tuesday.
Cool.
Nice.
Let's see. I lost the to-do list. Okay, so the other things are so many documents. As you guys know, the documents are sitting there. Yes, that one should be gone. We have intro slides that still need work. We have the FAQ, which still needs work. I'm really basically useless until we get the financial stuff settled. Sounds like I have to really push that. So I'm hoping that people can work on the FAQ and slides.
Griff, quick question on that. Do you see anybody as being able to take that financial stuff over? Like, is there someone you can imagine would do an okay job of that besides you?
There were a couple tasks I thought Abby could take, like determining the prices with Z, because she talks with Z all the time, and just throwing that on her to-do list to just write some content about why we're initiating the hatch sale a certain way, and just delegating that to her. Other than that, I think I'm too deep down the rabbit hole to really do, but if someone wanted to like do a little mini hackathon with me to make me focus on it, that would be useful for me as well. So,
okay.
But no, I mean, in the end, I think everyone, as long as everyone feels like they have a lot to do and a lot on their plate, then, so do I. So it's not that big a deal. Yeah, and I think let's see, is there anything else on this? I lost the tab, so maybe I can see yours.
Docs. I'll be jumping into the intro slides and the FAQ. I'll put an action step for that. I wouldn't mind doing a mini hack with you on some of those things. I'm certainly happy to bounce ideas back and forth. If Abby doesn't have time to take that on, then I'm happy to mini hack it. I'm wary of taking it on myself just because of the other things I've got, but I'm happy to bounce those ideas back and forth. And I added that to the notes above.
So determining the common support whitelist, I think we just got to get rid of this this like 10% stuff. Mm-hmm. And other than that, the only thing I want to set is kind of dates. So we're on determining the commons, well, now it's called the Genesis Commons whitelist, multipliers and deadlines. Basically, I want to set kind of like a 2-week deadline of getting the first 100K is like something that we go for once we have the financial round, or once we have all the financials set. So and once we feel like we can start raising, within 2 weeks I hope to hit 100K, and within a month and a half I hope to hit 1 million. And that's kind of the set that I'm going with. And if we can't hit the 1 million, then we regroup and change the basic structure. And so those dates are still in flux until we actually set. These are my thoughts. I don't know if anyone has feedback on that. But like, is that too fast, too slow?
No, we pushed these dates already. So
say that again.
We've already pushed these dates from May 30th to June 30th and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, in the end, the thought is like, I think I can solidify the dates effectively by setting one specific date, which is we have these to-do lists done, right? Like we have the numbers set for the curve. We have some documentation on it. We have the roadmap set, and we have like a full functional description of the roadmaps. We have the paperwork done with individuals, or like at least all of them are in the works and in steady state, and just the other to-do lists. And then like once all of those boxes get ticked, basically, that last tick of the box sets the 2-week starting point for raising funds, and then then after that 2 weeks, we have another month for raising funds, and those numbers go along with these multipliers and the like give back funds. At least like kind of how I was thinking about setting it up. Although I feel that we are ready to take funds from advisors if they're interested in sending us money. Like I feel like we at least have a multi-sig, and even though we don't have the full terms and conditions, I think we can start asking for money and definitely passing. Well, we already passed the form around to people. So like we can even start seeing what the results of that form is. I imagine no one's actually filled it out, or if they have, I haven't even filled it out. So, oh yeah, Andy from Status filled it out, and Rafael Calscada. Man, it sounds familiar. Oh yeah, he was
in Barcelona.
Yeah, exactly. So we have one person who said yes, he's willing to contribute, but less than 5K. So both people are saying they can contribute less than 5K. That's only 2 people. So.
Well, if they get together, then they have one membership.
Yeah, it's true. Let's see. This is cool. I mean, at least we have some people filling out the form, like, so we're making progress there. That's good. Okay, is there anything else on the agenda after that?
Genesis prototype.
I don't think we have anyone to talk about the prototype, so. Okay, action items. Man, I need this notes. Where is this? Okay, so I think we created some action items. One thing I need to do is make this to-do list. And Lorelai, can I get your help with that?
Yeah, what's the to-do list you want to make?
It's basically, these are all the detail, everything we need to go out to people comfortably from the feedback from our advisors. These are the things that we need to have completely fleshed out before we can actually go to people seriously and ask for money.
Okay, great. Yeah, that sounds like a list I have an interest in.
Okay. Jeff to promote the article. Jeff and I to have a mini hack on financial details with Z. Before that, we need to actually set up the document or set up our initial. I think the to-do list is probably the highest priority, and that will feed into Z. Lorelai, you're chasing the logo.
Mm-hmm.
Any other to-do lists? I guess Coach B, you're down to chase down agreements with Lorelai and I.
Yeah, I have it as an action item. I put it in there.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Parker events. Or is there a different?
Where?
I think you can still put it at the top.
Oh, okay,
Nice
I
to
see
see.
it down here. Okay. Say it again, love.
I'd say still put that in the action steps list at the top. It's nice to see them all in one place.
Yeah, I'll just paste it right here. So Griff get a quote from Run on Black, and he wants to be in on that. I think Jeff and I are going to handle this.
Yeah, I already have this as a note, Bob, actually.
Yeah, cool. Go ahead. Determine curve for token investing.
I have that above
Yeah. One-on-one combos. This is Coach B. Coach B, is there a time that you, Lorelai, and I should try to meet for this?
If possible, tomorrow.
Yeah, totally. Can we do it in the like, or let's see. Coach B, when tomorrow is good for you?
Maybe 11.
Okay.
Does that work for us?
It's just it's our last day in K-Town, so I want to like have some time, but like I would prefer either in the morning or like right around this time slot. So is it possible to do earlier than 11, like 10:30?
Or even 9? Like, how early could we go?
Yeah, 9 o'clock. I already have a call.
But maybe 10. What about 10?
10 would be okay.
Okay, that's
Okay,
awesome.
great. I'll make the event.
Okay, great. Yeah, 10 is fine.
Perfect.
What is
And
we will review GitHub? What is that? What kind of task is that?
this was old. What was that for? That was for this, because this is notes are copied back and back, so I can cruise back to when it was put there, see what we were talking about. But
Okay.
I think it's old. Let's see how old. So I think it came on the 20, actually just the last meeting. Coach B will review GitHub. Let's see what GitHub will review. Oh, I think it was the website GitHub.
Okay, but it's still on GitHub, or no? It's live. There's something live now, or?
Yeah, it's not on it's not on GitHub. I think it's just that there were issues for us on GitHub.
Oh yeah, well I put them on there. Yeah, I did.
And so we need to actually go back there and respond to what they said.
Okay. Then but usually I get an email update if there's any response. Let me check.
Let's see. I'm gonna check it right now. We may not be watching it. Okay, so I think I can. I'm down to just do that now and just respond. I can connect the form and I can confirm at least that my issues. I think the goal is for us to close the issue if it's not an issue.
I found the issue, you know. But...
I'm glad that was on there. Thanks for asking, Coach B. It's convenient to just leave that up there. Okay, last week's action steps. Corner of Abby for a call, we did that. Formalized document. Are you still planning on formalizing and documenting the choice of 3 KYC companies? I don't think we need to, unless you really want to.
No, it was more something I wanted to show other people that are in the same situation, you know. But for us internally, it's fine.
Okay, I'll delete that. I don't know if Spunnet sent that. I'll just say, move this to this week and say Griff ping Spunnet. Membership form, then KYC. Is that still on our to-do list? Coach B, create the membership form, then KYC.
No, we do that already. So we have the form, the Google form that people now can fill in, and then after that they go through KYC. So the process is okay now.
So, and you have the KYC check. I mean, I guess that's in your flow. That's just happening.
That's what I'm discussing on Monday again. To know exactly what needs to be in the KYC, and then it's part of the key we get from Mount Pelerin to access their solution. So the solution that we create will have the whole KYC process. So we don't have to do anything other than connecting to that.
Cool. Coach B about the form, making a few comments on the terms and conditions. I would like to review the T&Cs one more time. Make a note. Yeah, and I guess Coach B, I would ask that you just look at my addition, that one line addition to the terms and conditions.
Yeah,
it sounds good.
Yeah.
And Lorelai, did you add any? Yeah, you got chasing logo and helping sustain all of us. We go through one pager. I think she said that she's done with that. No stock on this call. Working on slides. I think that's already in there. Everyone FAQ. Right roadmap summary. I just need information from Jorge, but I imagine it'll be a no. And Avi, I think, yeah. Okay, cool. I want to end the live stream and let you guys go if you need to go. If you want to stay for a second, I wouldn't mind talking.